When we think about what parents pass on to their children, we usually think of DNA. Eye color, height, hair texture, things we can see. But what if that's not the whole story? What if parents pass on things that never appear in a genetic test? Things you can't see written anywhere. For a long time, science believed inheritance was simple. Genes gave the instructions, life followed the script. But then, something didn't quite fit. Scientists began noticing children showing stress patterns, sensitivities, even health tendencies that didn't match their own experiences. No clear cause, no shared memories, no obvious explanation. And yet, the pattern appeared again and again. This raised a quiet, unsettling question. Can life leave invisible marks? Marks that move from parent to child, without changing DNA itself? If that's true, then inheritance is more than genetics. It's life leaving messages behind. Most of us grow up with a simple idea about inheritance. Our parents give us DNA, and DNA decides who we are. It explains how tall we might be, what our eyes look like, even our risk for certain diseases. Everything feels neatly written, like instructions passed down at birth. In this way of thinking, life comes later. Our experiences shape our personality, but biology stays the same. Parents may influence habits and behavior, but not biology itself. This belief feels reassuring. It draws a clear line between what we inherit and what we experience. It tells us that once we're born, the biological story is already written. But as comforting as this idea is, it turns out the story may not be that simple. As scientists began looking closer, they noticed something unexpected. Genes weren't acting alone. For decades, DNA was seen as fixed, a permanent blueprint that never changed. But research began to reveal a deeper layer. The DNA code stayed the same, yet the way genes behaved could change. Some genes became more active, others became quieter. It was as if genes had volume controls, turned up or down by life itself. Stress, nutrition, emotions, environment. These experiences sent signals to the body, and the body responded all the way down to the level of genes. This discovery changed how scientists think about inheritance. Genes weren't just instructions, they were listeners. They responded to the world around us, adapting to what life demanded. And this meant something powerful. Biology wasn't only inherited at birth, it was shaped along the way. Every day, your body is listening, not to words, but to signals. When you feel stressed, your body releases chemicals. When you eat, your cells respond. When you sleep well, repair systems quietly turn on. These signals travel deep inside you, reaching your cells and even your genes. The DNA itself doesn't change. The code stays the same, but small chemical markers attach to it, like sticky notes on a page. These markers tell genes when to speak and when to stay silent. Long-term stress can keep certain genes switched on too often, especially those linked to fear and survival. Poor nutrition can quiet genes needed for repair and balance. A safe environment, restful sleep, and emotional support can help protective genes stay active. Your life becomes a set of instructions your body reads every day, not once, but repeatedly. And over time, these signals can shape how your body responds to the world, how easily it stays calm, how it handles pressure, how it heals. This is epigenetics, not destiny, but direction. Here's where the story becomes even more surprising. Some of these gene signals don't always stop with you. When certain genes are switched on or off for a long time, the body may carry those settings forward, not as memories, not as experiences, but as biological tendencies. During pregnancy, a developing child is deeply connected to the parent's body. Stress hormones, nutrition levels, and chemical signals all help shape how early gene systems are set. These early settings don't decide a child's future, but they can influence how sensitive their stress response is, how their metabolism works, or how easily their body reacts to pressure. Think of it like adjusting the default settings before a device is ever turned on. The child isn't born with a parent's experiences, but with a body that may be more prepared for the kind of world the parent lived in. This doesn't mean stress is passed down like a curse, and it doesn't mean the future is locked. It means biology can carry messages, quiet signals meant to help the next generation survive. All of this might sound theoretical, like something that only exists in laboratories. But scientists didn't arrive here by guessing. They noticed patterns in real lives. One of the most well-known examples comes from history. During World War II, a severe famine struck parts of Europe. People who lived through that extreme hunger later had children, and those children showed differences in metabolism, stress sensitivity, and health risks, even decades later. The children had never experienced famine themselves, and yet their bodies behaved as if they were prepared for scarcity. Researchers began seeing similar patterns elsewhere. In long-term studies, chronic stress, trauma, or extreme hardship often correlated with subtle biological changes in the next generation. Animal studies helped scientists look closer. When animals were exposed to prolonged stress, their offspring often showed altered stress responses, not because of learning, but because of changes in how genes were regulated. And importantly, these effects were not permanent or guaranteed. They were tendencies, adjustments, biological echoes. Science doesn't say life experiences write destiny. It says they may leave footprints, quiet ones, detectable ones, and sometimes reversible ones. As powerful as these discoveries are, science is still learning where the boundaries are. Researchers don't yet know exactly which experiences leave lasting biological marks and which ones fade without a trace. Not every stress becomes a signal. Not every hardship is passed forward. Scientists are also still studying how long these effects can last. Do they fade after one generation? Can they carry further or reset completely with new environments? And most importantly, biology is not destiny. Genes respond to context. They adapt. They change again. A child born with certain sensitivities is not locked into a fixed future. Support, safety, care, and environment can reshape gene behavior once more. This uncertainty isn't a weakness in science. It's a reminder that the human body is flexible, responsive, and still full of unanswered questions. This isn't about blaming parents. And it isn't only about people who plan to have children. This matters because we all live inside bodies that respond to the world around us. Understanding how experiences influence biology changes how we think about stress, care, and environment. It reminds us that constant pressure isn't just something we push through. It's something the body records. For parents, this knowledge can bring awareness, not guilt. It means small, consistent choices matter. Rest, safety, emotional support. Not perfection, but patterns. And for those without children, this still matters deeply, because these biological signals don't appear out of nowhere. They come from workplaces, communities, systems, and environments that shape how people live every day. When we create calmer, healthier spaces, we're not just helping individuals cope. We're shaping the conditions future bodies may grow within. So take a moment, not to judge your past, not to worry about the future, just to notice. Your body has been adapting your entire life, responding, adjusting, learning how to survive the world you live in. Some of those responses may be protective. Some may no longer be needed, and that's okay. What science is showing us is not a message of fear, but of awareness. Change doesn't require rewriting your life. It begins with noticing patterns, where stress lingers, where rest is missing, where support could exist. Even small shifts, consistent sleep, moments of calm, safer spaces, can slowly change how the body responds. Not instantly, not perfectly, but gradually. And that possibility is where real hope lives. If this perspective stayed with you, that's enough. These ideas aren't meant to rush you. They're meant to sit quietly and unfold over time. If you're curious about how everyday life shapes the body, the mind, and future generations, you're welcome to stay here. This channel explores science not to create fear, but to build understanding. You don't need to agree with everything. You don't need to change anything today. Just keep the conversation open. And if this video gave you something to reflect on, consider subscribing, so we can keep exploring how life leaves its marks and how awareness gives us choices.